Hey trainers, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got a really fun and creative Iono themed deck built around Bellibolt, Kilowattrel, and the support of Magearna and Voltorb. This deck is all about infinite energy, acceleration, built-in healing, and surprise KOs. So not to waste any time, the way I record my videos, I usually record them in advance and then put them out. So they are behind a week or two. So just ignore the. We have already reset into the new the ladder rankings. But not to waste any time, let me just show you the deck list. I'll be really quick about it. I won't waste a lot of time talking about each individual card. We'll just get into that while we're into the matches. But section 1 will just be the deck overview. Kilowattrel here. I got 2 of these. They're not here to attack. Their real power is in their flashing draw ability. Once during your turn, discard a lightning energy, and then you can draw until you have 6 cards in hand. I run 2 Wattrels, 2 Kilowattrels, 1 Magearna for the healing. Auto heal does synergize with Bellibolt. Voltorb, I run 2 of those, 3 Bellibolts, and 3 Tadbulbs. And again, we will get into talking about each individual card. For the deck's sake, I have 3 Ionos. We've got 3 of the Buddy Poffins, 1 of each of the tools. Pokegear, same. I just thought we could do without these. I run 2 of those. Actually, nope, just 1. I run 2 Night Stretchers because we discard so much. The 1 Pal Pad, 4 Nest Balls. Oh, I'm sorry, that's 2 Nest Balls. I took out 2 and I made it to where because we have the Buddy Poffins, so we only need 2 Nest Balls in there. Next up, 1 Bravery Charm. I've got the 2 Bosses Orders, 3 stages. We'll get back to those. Earthen Vessels, the Superior Energy Retrieval, and then Professor's Research. We need 4 of those and 4 Ultra Balls. Lastly, that leaves us with our energy. So I've got 14 electric energy in this deck. You could remove 2 of the tools and bring that up to 16. That's taking out maybe the Bravery Charm and the Band. That's up to you. But not to waste any time, let's just get right into this and hope we do well. Now, right off the back, I haven't figured out the best solution to whether I want to go first or second, but sometimes that benefits us, you know. As of lately, I've been wanting to go first since I have evolution Pokemon. I know they're in kind of a vulnerable spot going first and not being able to use our support cards off the back, and then also just a lot of the times these aggro decks can hurt us on their turn 1 if they go second. So just something to be mindful of. Know your decks that you're going against. So like a perfect example is now. This isn't the best position to be in with no Nest Balls, no Buddy Poffins, just a single Tadbulb into the active spot. But we'll at least the good news is I can use the Iona since I'm going turn 2. We'll attach 1 energy maybe to Tadbulb, play the Iona behind that, and then see what kind of hand we can pull. The Reshiram is um that's a good card. I like the ends deck list. I'll see if I can't make a future deck, and if it works then I'll record a video for that. But so yeah, this isn't the best of hand. We'll attach that 1 energy, and playing our Iona. That's the best that we got. So a Wattrel, that's good. We got our buddy Poffin. We'll pull Tadbulb and a Voltorb. So my main goal, I always like to have an extra Tadbulb. The deck list is revolved around those Pokemon, and then I'll pull the Magearna. I like to have her for the healing purposes, and I may never use it, but it's always nice to have her on the sideline. Wattrel, maybe one, because I'm only using them for their discard. I mean, and I don't want to mill too much. And I'd like to have the extra Tadbulb because I expect to maybe possibly lose him. So we'll see. Good news is I can attach another energy to Tadbulb next turn and then take out the Voodoo just in case he decides to Itchy Pollen me. Now, bear with me. I haven't been practicing a lot lately with Pokemon, so I'll be a little rusty here, I imagine. And what I mean by that, I'll just make some small errors. This is great. I couldn't have asked for a better card to draw. So let's attach that one to Tadbulb. Um, so we can go ahead and heal. Or actually, we'll go ahead and evolve. Um, attach our band here. Electric Steamer. Let me attach the 2 energy. I can't use any item cards, so I'm just trying to see what he can do. Get an idea of what's coming next. So we'll do Thunderous Bolt for 230. Alright, we got ourselves a Voltorb. I'll take it. Yeah, so yeah, Voltorb is a nice advance on this for this deck. I think having 2 of those handy, and then if you happen to have a couple Bellibolts with 4 energy each attached, and then you have your 2 required energy for Voltorb, he can dish some damage, and then on top of that, attaching the maximum belt to Voltorb is just it's fun seeing the little guy take out the big guys. Night Stretchers, since I discard so many cards, I do run 2 of those in this deck because I plan to send maybe a Bellibolt or a Kilowattrel or even lose one. If he was able to KO this Bellibolt here, I could pull it right back out of the graveyard or the discard pile and then evolve my Pokemon. I think it's more viable. It's really viable in certain situations. Instead of using that Ultra Ball and discarding 2 cards, you could just use the Night Stretcher to get the same Pokemon that you want. Just being mindful of your discard pile and your regular deck pile. So 170. Alright, so this card I haven't talked much about, Laventia. This is a beautiful card. This makes this deck run. And again, now he can't attack, so we're going to discard the 2 energy from him. And we'll pull Bellibolt. Maybe not a great idea. Maybe it would have been smarter to put the Voltorb up there since he can attack for 2. But I'm going to go ahead and pull those 2 energy. Now, if Magearna, another idea was I could have just put the Magearna in active spot, and instead of Bellibolt, then I could have healed for 90 damage per energy that leaves my hand. So maybe I'll do that next time. With Magearna in the active spot, she can heal. So let me pull this Voltorb out. What I'm doing is discarding the cards in my hand, so that way I can maximize Kilowattrel's draw ability. So I'll attach that to Kilowattrel, use the flashing draw. I wanted to empty my hand to maximize the cards I could have pulled. So if you see, I've got 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll attach this Bravery Charm. Yeah, because I'd like to heal the Bellibolt. We'll attach the Bravery Charm to Voltorb. Use Electric Steamer. Um, yeah, I'd imagine I might be losing Bellibolt next round. But we're not in a bad position. Alright, so at least we got to keep the big guy. I did lose quite a bit of energy attached there. So I can't show you Magearna's ability, unfortunately. So same thing here. Let's just get rid of all of our energy. Attaching 2 to Voltorb. And then 1 to Kilowattrel. Just because with 3 I can attack for 70. Actually, no, just because, just in case I want to draw again next turn. Ooh, Maximum Belt. Oh, I wish I could have attached that to Voltorb. And I don't know if I would like to Yeah, I think I want to do Electric Steamer and attach those 2 electric energy to the other Voltorb. Alright, boss up the Zorark. And Electric Steamer to maximize our attack's power. I know we got it regardless. Because Voltanic, however you pronounce that chain, it's 20 damage plus 20 for each energy you have attached to your Pokemon. So he's doing 20 damage base plus 20 for each energy, and I have 4, 6. I've got 9 energy attached. So that's 270. Let's 80. That's 160 plus 20. So that's 180 plus another 20. So I think we're doing 200 in damage right now. Yeah, that's right. 20 damage for each energy, plus the 20 for the base attack. That puts us at 200. Anything else that's extra would be weaknesses applied. Now, in case you're wondering, I'm pretty comfortable, and I feel as though I'll be able, I'll take this match regardless. So maybe, ooh, let's put Wattrel down. Let's try and get rid of our hand and see what we can do. I've got 6 energy in the discard, so let's just get rid of both of those. If we happen to, So let's just attach 1 to Wattrel, maybe 2 to Kilowattrel. And we definitely just want to get rid of all energy attached. That's 4. And then I'll attach this last one to Magearna, just in case they ever end up in the active spot. I need to retreat them. Flashing Draw. So now we have our 3 that we could attack with, just in case. And look, there's a boss's orders. So let's just boss up. I'm doing 180, so that wouldn't kill. Oh, I forget. So I'm at 180, so I'm at 220 now. Yeah, let's put the boss and Iono back into the deck. That's why I added just the 1 Pal Pad, the maximize. That's why I was okay only putting 3 Ionas in this deck instead of 4. The professor's researches are imperative though. Just we need to maximize getting those early, so the percentages were. I just want to increase my percentage of finding those because it is a full 7 cards that come into hand. We're at 200 attack. So I'll take 1 more prize. And honestly, depending on what happens this next turn, unless he kills 2 Pokemon in 1 turn, which that he could win. I mean, he'd have to boss up or counter catcher or Pokemon catcher the Bellibolt into the active spot. Zorark could possibly take out Bellibolt, and that's 2 prize cards. And then let's see what he's got back there. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't see any way for him to take out one of my bench Pokemon also. Ooh, okay. So that's not good. Because my plan was to boss up his Zorark and then just take the win. Because I haven't seen a maximum belt yet. Actually, yes, I have. So let's think about how we can get ourselves out of this situation. I don't want to just take 1 prize. Ooh, let's hope. I'll charge for 180. Okay, so it comes down to this turn here. Oh, that's right. My maximum bolt I attached to the Bellibolt there. Alright, that's what we needed. Okay. So this is why I attached the one energy to her in the first place. 230 is what I'm attacking with, but I have the maximum belt attached to Bellibolt. So the goal here is okay. I think he saw that. That was a great match. I feel like that was a great um, showcasing of the Iona deck. We pretty much want infinite energy, um, and just swing big with the Voltorbs, and I feel like we just have a good defense with the Bellibolts there. Ideas for to make the deck better would be to run maybe switch. I don't have any switch cards whatsoever, so just be mindful of. You could take out the maximum belt for a prime catcher. That could also be very handy in this deck match or in this deck list. But not to waste any time and just get right back into it. I think I want to do maybe 6 matches, and then that should just give us a good understanding of what I'm running right now in our locals or our cup challenges, league challenge cups, whatever. Your opponent will go first. Okay. So I think the imperative card is the Tadbulb over the Wattrel. Like if we're talking priority, so I don't want to lose priority. That way, I'll put the Tadbulb in the back or in the bench if just in case they happen to. Let's say I go up against a Raging Bolt deck. Raging Bolt's probably going to take out. They're going to want to go second, and then they're going to want to take out. They will probably take out that Pokemon that's 70 or under HP because all they'll need is a total of. They just need to discard 1 energy to be able to swing for that attack, and they'll definitely get it. Um, yeah, that's just the Raging Bolt deck for you. But don't be discouraged. So that kind of helps us out sometimes. All right, so we do want to play our Pokegear. Hopefully, we can pull something great. Let's get Laventia out there. Attach 1 energy to. Let's do Tadbulb again. I'm afraid to lose Wattrel, so I don't want to. All right, let's get the Voltorb out here. Let's play Nest Ball, and I'll pull a other Let's pull Magearna. If I ever see Magearna, since there's only one of those, especially the Nest Ball, the Buddy Poffin can't retrieve her, but the Nest Ball can, and I only run 2 Nest Balls, so it's in our best interest to pull Magearna. This is a turn 1, so we don't really need to Ultra Ball. I've already attached my energy for the turn, and I don't really know. I don't know where I want to put the maximum belt. I don't want to make that mistake. So he may have a Iona, and that would shake up our hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I got 7 cards in hand. Wondering what... Okay, our turn. Let's get that Voltorb out there. Let's... Actually... Let's pull this Bellibolt. Maybe I should have... Yeah, maybe I should have sent some cards to the discard. Let's send Maximum Belt to him. Attach all of these to him. And I'm looking for 2 electric energy, one for the Wattrel and one for the Bellibolt. There it is. Awesome. So Buddy Poffin, let's go. Tadbulb and another Wattrel. I kind of wish I didn't send the Voltorb out on the Ultra Ball, but if we get a Night Stretcher, we'll pull him back. I like to have my 1 prize card powerhouses. And... Perfect. So we've got our 5. Ooh, maybe I should have actually used Earthen Vessel to pull the 2, but it's hindsight. Let's just get Voltorb out. 230 would actually KO the Roaring Moon, so maybe it would be more beneficial to put him out. 230, yeah. Ooh, Electric Steamer, attaching 1 here. 1 on Wattrel, 1 on Wattrel, and then the 2 on Voltorb. And then let's just swing for the 280. Pulling 2 prize cards, setting us at 4. Awesome. And I love seeing bosses orders, so maybe I will boss up the Fizzendipity just to shake things up a little bit. Because Bellibolt will not be able to swing next turn. That's if he even survives this. What do we got? Yeah, he's going to use Night Joker. Ooh, Ionos. Well, that gives us an extra card in hand, but we lose the boss's orders, so that's unfortunate. Alright, so let's see here. Let's use Laventia, pulling 2 of our electric energy out of the discard pile back into hand. So this is to show you. This is to showcase what Magearna can do. I'm gonna use Electric Steamer, so that way you can see that this heals not from just attaching energy from the hand, but this heals using Electric Steamer's ability because you are attaching energy from hand still. even though you're using a bypass, basically using electric steamer to attach energy instead of attaching energy from the hand. But as it says, whenever you attach energy from the hand, auto heal 90. So we just healed 180 points of damage. That's 2 energy that we attached, making that 90 points a piece for each energy, bringing us to 180 that it would have healed. And so that automatically heals our 170 that we were hit pointed at. And again, I love how this deck works. Things to be mindful of: just don't mill yourself out. If you notice, I have 17 cards in hand. Always be mindful of what we have left. I was hoping to see a I've got maximum belt, so regardless, I should be able to retreat. Another great thing about Magearna is the spike draw. Like, just early game, if you happen to have that 1 energy attached, you draw 2 cards and get 20 damage just in case they happen to Badoo you. It is something. Rigid Band, we will probably attach to... actually, that would be better fit for the Bellibolt, and then maximum belt could have been attached to any Pokemon here. This is a hard choice. I could Night Stretcher the Bellibolt and then evolve that Tadbulb just to maximize. So this turn really was to showcase the auto heal ability for Magearna, and as you just saw, spike draw. There's 20 points of damage, and then draw 2 cards. Let's see what we have in our discard. Alright. Ooh, so we got rid of the Voltorb and the Magearna. So that's 2 Pokemon right there. So really, it's now time to think ahead. Yeah, I can... Because if we lose Bellibolt, then that's it. Let's get rid of Nest Ball and Buddy Poffin, since I don't plan on... And there's our Bellibolt that we needed. Alternatively, we could have used the Night Stretcher to pull the Bellibolt, but what if I needed to maximize more energy, especially since that Bellibolt over there needs 4 energy total. Let's use Laventia. That leaves us with 3 energy left in the discard. We'll attach these 2 energy to Bellibolt. You know, Night Stretcher. If I have 3 left, I could Night Stretcher both. Since I didn't, let's just see what we can get. So there's our other energy that we were looking for. I'm thinking about if we want to boss up, or do we just want to take the Zorark. I think we'll just take the Zorark this turn. We have our 2 prize cards, and we just set ourselves up for backup. Like, he's not taking out both Bellibolts in one turn. That's not possible. So I think we just won. Like, let's think about this with the Zorark deck. Now that Bellibolt can't attack next turn, so we are in Reliant. Okay. Well, I'm not sure why he did that. Because in reality, that just helped me out because Bellibolt can't attack. If Thunderous Bolt prevented him from attacking next turn, so I have to actually retreat him, sending those 2 energy to the discard pile to pull something else out. So in a sense, you kind of just helped me out. Now I was just gonna boss up the Fizzendipity and then take the win after retreating out Bellibolt into the other Bellibolt, but this is also cool. Now what I'll do is just send back in that same Bellibolt with the maximum belt and then swing for 280 at Zorark, and then that will be game. But it was a great effort. So this is to pull the energy that we need to retreat the Kilowattrel. Let's just attach the energy. We won't even waste time and use the electric steamer. Retreat, and then pull up Bellibolt with the maximum belt, because with the extra 50 damage he'll take 280. And then that's going to be game. So that's a really good match. Awesome. I'm really happy with that match also. I think those last 2 are just such good showcases for the capabilities of this deck and how viable it can be in our like cup challenges and locals night. And I'm doing very well with it. So wish me luck, and yeah, wish me luck in our future tournaments coming up with this Iono deck. I'm moving on from Raging Bolt to this. I think the Raging Bolt deck's definitely still a little bit more effective, but Iono is a lot more fun. Alright, so we're slowly moving up the ranks. This is what we want to see. Alright. Choose heads or tails. Alright. So I'm gonna practice going first to majority of the time. I don't know how I feel about it yet. We'll see. So it looks like they're using the Exeggutor, meaning they're gonna flip a coin and do damage to the active or the bench Pokemon, one of mine, and he can use an attack from his discard. So it looks like I had to take 2 mulligans. That's the unfortunate thing about this deck. There is not a lot of Pokemon to play from. Alright, so we have our 1 Tadbulb. We do go first. Let's just, yeah, we know he's not a Raging Bolt, so that's good. You know, I'd like to say let's go first the majority of the time. If the only deck that I'm afraid of is Raging Bolt, that comes to mind. That either shows my inexperience or let's get rid of 1. Hopefully we can pull a Laventia. Let's get a Wattrel. And end turn. So let's see what our opponent does for this turn. So he's got the. Alright. So my targets are definitely his bench Pokemon. Ooh, that sucks. So we will evolve. Use Professor's Research. It just sucks. I'm getting rid of 2 superior uh, energy retrievals. We got another Wattrel. Actually, let's use our Ultra Ball. Yeah, let's use Ultra Ball and get rid of 1 energy. And then the Wattrel. So I'll use the stage to pull both those energies back. Let's attach 1 energy to the Kilowattrel. Night Stretcher will pull out the Wattrel, and I can put him onto the bench. So I'm trying to get rid of my hands, that way I maximize the flashing draw. Use Laventia. And then Electric Steamer, I'll attach both those to Bellibolt and then use Flashing Draw. Awesome. I only need that 1 here. It's really dependent on what I want to attach. I think 1 each. So if I evolve into the other Kilowattrel, I can use Flashing Draw twice. And retreat. I'll pull those energy back. I don't want to waste. Ooh. So I could have done a total of 30 damage with if he flips and if it's heads does 20 extra damage. Search your deck for a card of all this Pokemon, put it into the okay. So the I mean, the consensus behind the move was, I don't know, it was I have all that energy attached to the Bellibolt. I really didn't want to lose them. It's surprising he didn't take out Wattrel. Huh. Alright, so let's use Electric Steamer, attaching both the energy. We won't use. Let's use Pokegear. No Iona. I was hoping for Iona. Um, let's just go ahead and use flashing, or let's use boss's orders first. Pull up the Terrapagos. We'll use flashing draw. Drawing the 3 cards. There's our Iona we needed. We'll go ahead and set up for Voltorb and attach an energy. Let's go ahead and retreat Wattrel. Send up the Bellibolt, and then we'll do Thunderous Bolt for 230, taking out the Terrapagos and taking 2 prize cards. Alright, so it's our turn. Obviously, we'll use our stage, pull our 2 discarded energy back to hand. Um, let's retreat. I don't want to lose Bellibolt. We'll just go ahead and sacrifice the Voltorb. Um, let's use Ultra Ball and search for a Kilowattrel. Getting rid of a Professor and then Ionos. Alright, that's unfortunate. Let's just set up for another Tadbulb. That way we don't rely heavily on the Bellibolt. He does already have 150 damage counter on him. And then we want to attach 2 energy. Let's use his electric steamer, attaching probably 2 energy to the Bellibolt. I'll just do 1 to the Bellibolt, and then let's use Professor's Research. So I can still use Kilowattrel's flashing draw if I need to. Earthen Vessel, getting rid of 1 Buddy Poffin since we don't need those anymore. Maximize our energy hand, maximizes our attack with Voltorb. Now we really have enough to spread out this energy here. So I'll set up, put 2 on that Tadbulb. Maybe that will bait him too instead of taking out the Bellibolt. And then I'm going to Pal Pad both the boss's orders back into our deck because they're going to come in handy here. So we're sitting at 220 for our main attack. I wonder if I flashing draw, I could get it higher. 220. Let's get rid of 1 energy, so we're at 200. Alright, so we didn't get any energy there. We do have our Bellibolt for next turn, so now we're swinging for 200. Voltorb will die next turn. Unless he does his swinging sphere, then I'd imagine either Bellibolt or Tadbulb would die. If he was smart, he'd take out well, not this late in the game. I imagine he'd probably want to retreat too and not lose the Exeggutor. Alright, so he took out the Tadbulb. Okay, so he did 60 to the bench. That's fine. We do have the extra. So things played out pretty well, having the extra Tadbulb there. Because I do want to evolve. So let's put the Bellibolt here. Let's bring Lavencia's stage forefront. Alright. We want to start attaching the energy to our second Bellibolt here. Something I always think about, I could Iona and then send cards back, but actually I'm gonna wait. Let's just go straight for. Let's go for the attack. We'll take our 2 prize cards. I think we won. So we have our second Voltorb. That's the only thing to remember with these Terrapagos is one of their attacks is once they attack, they're I think immune to an attack next turn. If you go, I tried to pull it up, but it closed it out. When they go for an attack, during your opponent's next turn, prevent all damage done to this Pokemon. So I think we just want to boss up the other one and take the win. So electric steamer. Yeah. So we'll boss up the other one. Actually, Iron Hands. I didn't realize that's a different Pokemon. And take the win there. I did take a League Cup challenge with where I went to play one, but at the last minute I pretty much switched this deck out for the Raging Bolt, and then I ended up not, I pretty much give up once. I don't come in first. I tend to just come. I'm a second place to fourth place kind of guy. But it was fun. I had a lot of fun, but I think I should have pulled out the Iona deck. I think I'm just afraid to use it because it's new and I'm so much more comfortable with the Raging Bolt deck, but it is what it is. Alright, so definitely attach our energy here just to set up for Kilowattrel evolve. Think Keep in mind he could have a Iona, so if he does play Iona, that kind of shakes things up here. We do have an okay hand. I'd like to see a little less support, but Okidogi here, search your deck, okay, and if this Pokemon poison, so he wants to poison himself and do an extra 130 damage for 260, I'm assuming. Next turn, this Pokemon can't attack. Once turn, it's Ancient Booster. Okay, so his ability is gonna poison both of us. Alright. So we're gonna Buddy Poffin and bring up a Tadbulb and a Voltorb since we have our Wattrel. Next time, if we let's just evolve into our Kilowattrel, attach the maximum belt to Voltorb. That's actually a hard choice. It's always between Tadbulb or Voltorb, but yeah, maybe Tadbulb. And that's a gamble because I don't have the Bellibolt to evolve yet. So, ooh, let's get rid of the Laventia since we have one in play already. Pull 2 of our energy that we need. Attach it. Play Buddy Poffin. So I'm trying to. Let's get the Voltorb and Tadbulb. So now we're maximizing our aggro here. Okay. So we did get our Bellibolt evolve, attach our 3 energy straight to the Bellibolt. And I think if we do the 280 damage, let's get rid of this Ultra Ball. Let me think here. Yeah. I got 2 earthen vessels, 1 energy, yeah. So let's get rid of the 1 energy in hand, pulling 2 out of the deck, and then Laventia I can use Laventia to pull those same 2 back out. Let's just go ahead and get rid of the Pokegear and Magearna, and take another Bellibolt. That way we have him ready to go. Pull these 2 energy back to hand, and let's use Electric Steamer. Attach it to we're going to attach it to 1 Voltorb, 1 Tadbulb, and I think that might be it for us. I could, and I think that may kill him. I know he's at 290, but end of turn he gets the 10 poison, so that really lucked out in our favor. We'll take both that. So maximum belt really was the way to go. I mean, I pretty much that's his whole game plan. I don't think that's very unfortunate for him. His whole setup was just taken away. because he wants to keep that one Pokemon on the bench to poison, and then the other dude, he's not evolved yet, so he's in a very vulnerable state. Brew Bomber. Okay, so he did pull him up. He can do the 120, poison us both. That leaves me with 140 or 160. Maybe 150 after the poison damage. Maybe 140 after the double turn. Like the end of turn and then start of my turn. Alright. I'm going to evolve. Get rid of this card here. Use Electric Steamer. Obviously. I mean, whoops. Retreat. Pull the Voltorb up. Voltorb will do enough damage to take out the his active Pokemon. And just to maximize it, we can get rid of the Iona here. Take both of our energy and then use Electric Steamer. Oh, let's just go ahead and pull these back out since I'm going to use it anyways, and then I can attach all 4 to both the Bellibolts. So let's go ahead and attach. I should attach, actually, I'm going to attach the 2 to the Voltorb and then 2 to a Bellibolt. The consensus behind it is, I know I pretty much got the game in hand, but it's Voltorb swings heavy. You know, I've got all this energy attached to the Pokemon. I could maximize it even more. So he's doing 220 per attack. If I can get a few more energy attached to these Pokemon, then I'll take out the Enzora. Or Zorark, he should evolve into. Even if he had 280, let's get. I'm at 220, so we need 3 more energy to attach to bring ourselves up to 280 to cover anything. But I mean, this is pretty much our Iona Bellibolt deck. I've got the 3 Bellibolts there. All we need to do is attach our energies, and then we have our Voltorbs for the attack. When they swing at us, our defensive plan is to let them take the Voltorbs, and they get 1 single prize card, and then hopefully we have another Voltorb to come out behind it. So, opponent wasn't active for too long. That was an okay match, I think. I kind of felt bad for that guy. Once we got rid of his main active Pokemon, it was kind of like downhill for him from there. But we do move up in the ladder rank. And let's obviously not waste any time. Let me see. Let's collect whatever I need. Alright, another Iona card for our Iona deck. I have the alt arts in real life for the Bellibolt, but I do not have. I also have a stamped and the alt arts for the Wattrel or the Kilowattrels. I just don't have them for the Iona. I would love them, but the Iona support card, the support trainer card, I don't have any alt arts for those. So kind of just like my One Piece, I have a buggy deck that I really love a lot. That I love. I keep all the arts. Now I'm working on my limb deck, and I think that's what I'm gonna do for Pokemon. My Pokemon main deck's gonna be Iona. Whether it's a meta or not, I always decided that I was gonna play Iona. I think it's a great. I think she's awesome. So this is going to be a fun, different kind of startup. Magearna. If we go second, the good news is we attach the one energy and draw 2 cards with Spike Draw. But let's see what we obviously want to put Laventia out there onto the stage. We go first. Okay, so right off the back, my first 2 ideas is Laventia and then Buddy Poffin to pull a maybe Tadbulb, since this is a Bellibolt deck, and a Wattrel. We'll get to the Voltorbs later. Um, since they don't need to evolve, we need to get the guys that need to evolve out ASAP. Rigid Band. He takes 30 less damage from my stage 2 Pokemon. We'll attach our 1 energy so we can Spike Draw next turn. And it's unfortunate it's turn 1, but we'll go ahead and end turn. He's gonna Buddy Poffin out, so he's got the Varoom. Okay. So he did the 40 damage to Magearna. I could let's think what we want to do. Play the Ultra Ball. We'll get rid of Earthen Vessel and Laventia. Getting our Bellibolt. It's imperative. And then we play our Iona. Let's get 6 cards in hand. So I'm weak to fire, which is why he did the 40. Kind of locked up here, but I can heal her. And then let's just go ahead and I'll use the electric steamer and attach that 1 energy to, if I'll attach it to Wattrel again, that way once he becomes Kilowattrel I have the energy ready to go. There's the energy we need. We got a Voltorb. Okay, so next turn I'm thinking we play our Voltorb, attach an energy to Bellibolt, use Iona again, and maybe not using Professor's Research because I don't want to lose the boss order. Let's see what he's got in discard. Okay. So he's going to get rid of 1. So we need to do 250 in damage. So I'm imagining I will lose Magearna next turn. but that leaves 2 energy from her into the discard, so that's cool. So we selecting prize, and now if we had the maximum belt attached, obviously we'd be able to take him out next turn. So let's Buddy Poffin. We need another Tadbulb and a Voltorb. It's unfortunate. Let's get another Voltorb out. So three energy, so we'll use Electric Steamer and attach the 3. Let's do 2 here. 1 to Voltorb. Yeah, let's Professor's Research. Alright, there's our Kilowattrel we needed. We can evolve next turn with Buddy Poffin or with Bellibolt. Let's use Electric Steamer. Let's get Voltorb up there, and then Electric Steamer 1 energy to Voltorb, and then 2 to Bellibolt, and then Flashing Draw. So the consensus behind all of my moves are to get rid of as many cards in hand, so that way I can draw as many, because I draw max till up to have 6 cards in hand. So if I have too many cards in hand, then I can't maximize Kilowattrel's ability. But there we have our 4 energy, so we can attach the 2 to Bellibolt here, and then maybe setting up for our Tadbulb, our second one, because we do have another Bellibolt there. So I'm at 180 damage. This is at 200. So we will lose Voltorb next turn, unless he takes out the Tadbulb. I'd imagine he could target that one. I'd like to see a maximum belt. I mean, attaching that to my other Voltorb there. If we can get him. Alright, so 210. This is a fun match, okay. Let's get our other Voltorb out. So he's taking a Magearna, a Voltorb, and then now we have our second Voltorb that's vulnerable. Let's evolve him into Bellibolt. A superior energy retrieval would be great right about now. But let's use our Night Stretcher and let's get one of them out. And then with my Laventia, I'll take another 2. That sets us with 3 energy. 2. Electric Steamer, I'll attach 2 to Voltorb. And then 1 to Kilowattrel. Use Flashing Draw. We're going to maximize this. Yeah, I may need to get rid of Bravery Charm. I see that it doesn't really help. Some situations, very situational, but there's our superior energy retrieval that we needed. So let's just get rid of one Pokegear and a Professor's Research, pulling all three of our energy back. And then now we're set up. We will just go ahead and yeah, he's got both his prize cards, or he's up on prize cards, but oh no. So we got, all right, there's our maximum belt. Ooh, that would have been great to add to Voltorb now, but and then our last two energy. I really want to maximize his attack here. Maybe attach one here and then the other one. It doesn't really matter. Now we're at 280. We did it. So I'd imagine Voltorb will die or be eliminated. But you know what? I could Night Stretcher another Voltorb back out. We're also sitting in a good spot with. I could even attach. I could evolve the Wattrel to Kilowattrel, Night Energy, or Night Stretcher, a Electric Energy, attach it to Kilowattrel, swing for 70 with Mach Bolt, and then take out his active Pokemon. I never want to put myself in a vulnerable situation to let him take out my EX Pokemon. That allows him to take 2 prize cards. Alright, so Iono will shake things up a little bit. Brilliant Blender. Love that card. I use it for my... You know, I'm going to make another video. It's going to be a crab deck. It's crab omnibble. Yeah, that's happening. After seeing that the blender, brilliant blender. I use that same card to put the some supports that he needs. This will be a fun deck to show in the future. Can't wait. He's definitely not ranking material or meta material, but let's see what this dude's cheesing about over here. So I got 5. He's got 9 or 6. It looks like 9 cards. Alright, let's Pal Pad both the boss's orders back into my deck. So now we're at 7 cards. Alright, we pull the 2. There's our boss. Yes. So Electric Steamer will attach that energy back. Let's boss up his other guy and swing for... Let's make sure... we don't need the Ultra Ball. I'll be surprised if there's an energy. Okay. So that's game. I didn't lose any energy there, but yeah, I would have swung again for the amount that I needed, the 280. Let me collect these rewards here real quick. Alright. The cool thing I like about Pokemon over One Piece is the cards you have in hand. You're not restricted by Dawn or even like Magic mana. You can just whatever the card is, whatever it says, you just play it and do what it says. So that's really cool. Um, also I like how drawn out the game matches are for Pokemon versus One Piece. And again, it just is very dependent on how I'm feeling because sometimes I'm in the mood for a very quick match, and that's where One Piece comes in handy. And I even know other games, other TCG formats that are even quicker than One Piece. But I'm having a lot of fun with Pokemon. It just depends on the set. Like, it depends on what's in rotation, what's meta, and how user friendly it is. You know, some Yu-Gi-Oh I tend to stay away from. I think it's too sweaty and very toxic at times, so I'm not really into that. And then the turns are just so long. I tend to wait forever. It feels like for one person to go, and that's just really not fun for me. Let's get our Tadbulb out. We do have a Bellibolt in hand, so let's get the Buddy Buddy Poffin. Since this is a Bellibolt deck, remember that. Let's get another Tadbulb out. And this deck just is like again, I'm in rankings. I'm rising up the ranks. Um, I, it's definitely not meta, but hey, this is a very simple, straightforward deck that does what it needs to. And again, the heads leads to 30 damage. That's pretty cool. Not that it really matters much, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to overplay. Just because you have the cards in hand, don't mean you should play them. So Gholdengo, he's definitely formidable, especially if he has his bench set up. All right, goodbye, Wattrel. He just needs to get rid of. Whoa, he only got rid of the one energy. That's surprising. Um, hmm. Let's go ahead and evolve. Let's use Buddy Poffin again. Bring our last Tadbulb up. Ooh, let's boss up the Fizzendipity maybe. Since he needs. Alright, and then attach an energy to Kilowattrel, and let's just. Hard choice. Flashing draw, that puts 3 cards in hand. There's no Pokemon to Night Stretcher, and let's just attach the Maximum Bolt or the Maximum Belt to Voltorb there. That'll be fun to showcase. And I think that's our turn. Maybe we want to retreat and send up a Tadbulb as bait. And then let's just go ahead and call it. Alright, Energy Search Pro. Whoa. That's quite a hand there, if only I had a Iona. So he's going to attach his energy to retreat. I mean, he can do a lot with that hand. I'd imagine he could pull up the Kilowattrel or the Voltorb. Coin bonus. Togepi, that's a first, okay. Now, Gholdengo is someone that I see in matches at tournaments. So sorry if I get quiet. Sometimes I'm just thinking maybe he accidentally swung for 50 that last time when he didn't take my Kilowattrel out. But let's get Voltorb out. He's already sitting at 70 damage with. And if I attach the 2 energy to him, yeah. Let's get a Bellibolt. Provincia. I don't have any other. So I'm at 5. We'll attach 1 to Kilowattrel, 2 to Voltorb, and maybe my other 2 to Bellibolt to set him up. Use Flashing Draw, draw 6 straight to hand. Okay. Let's use Earthen Vessel. Getting rid of Pokegear. So we're going to maximize Voltorb's attack here. Let's play Nest Ball. Take our Magearna. Yeah, let's just attach the remaining 3 energy and then maybe use Professor's Research. That way, yeah. We pull another 7 cards to hand. See the difference between my deck and I'm noticing even his. Yeah, he's got a huge hand, but I feel like I'm cycling through the cards in my hand, like I'm actually using them. And he may be up, but I have. Let's attach. I did the 1 energy there. Like again, sometimes it's just for retreat purposes. Electric Steamer. Now we're really maximizing our. We're at 250, so there's the damage we needed. So we set him up with 200, but we're getting the extra 50 damage buff from the maximum belt there. So now we're up in the game. He was at 5 prize cards. We do have our Bellibolt we need, and I mean, I guess I could play the Wattrel, setting up for another Kilowattrel. Not that I need it. We don't want to overplay it. That's why I don't run 3. 3 in this deck is too much because we're really only utilizing it for its ability. Things to think about. You know, I may take out that Bravery Charm and replace it with a Voodoo. I could put a Squawk ability into that could maximize my starting potential, but I didn't want to add cards. I'm maximizing the cards that are on my bench. I am using everybody, and I didn't want to allow a Squawk to give them the +2 prize advantage. That was the consensus behind that. You could take out the Professor's Research for. There's a support card that lets you discard your hand and draw 5 instead of the 7, but you can use it on turn 1. Alright, it's nice seeing Togetic. I think that his deck is actually doing really well too. They got Fizzendipity that draws 3 after every person is eliminated. He's got a pretty big hand. He should be able to, like, I'd imagine most of the cards that are in his hand are energy, which we're about to watch. He's gonna, I think, yeah. Let's see what he does. I'd imagine he's gonna take out Bellibolt, like maybe doing 300 damage. Let's find out. Yeah, okay. So he's going to discard 6 from hand instead of. It's like a Raging Bolt deck, but you're discarding your energy from hand um, instead of the Pokemon. All right, so let's think about this. We do have our extra Bellibolt. Let's get Wattrel out there. Let's pull 2 energy out. We are sitting someone at a disadvantage on his attack. Alright, attaching our 2 energy there. I'm almost tempted to play Professor's Research, but I guess I'll play it smart and Iona because I saved the Kilowattrel and it gets his hand size down. Alright, so this definitely played out way better. Earthen Vessel, let's take our last 2 energy out of the deck. Let's attach them to. So now Kilowattrel can attack, but let's just go ahead, discard 1, and Rigid Band. So that way, when he's out there, he takes 30 less damage, and then Super Energy Retrieval. Let's get rid of Buddy Puff and Laventia. Oh yeah, we're definitely maximizing our Voltorb attack. So everything played out very well. I really have high hopes for this deck list here. And we'll attach the last one to Bellibolt just in case he needs to retreat. And now Voltorb's at 330. That's amazing. Technically he'd be at 280, but with the plus 50 maximum belt. Now we just need to take out one more of his Pokemon, which we have. What's going to happen is, I think we're going to boss up the Fizzendipity and then take that, because he's going to take Voltorb this turn. Like, I've put a lot of thinking into this deck list. The Magearna is for healing. We don't have switch cards. I could maybe take out 1 Bravery Charm and put in a switch. I noticed that I wasn't using too many Pokegears, so I could get rid of 1 Pokegear 3.0. But they do come in handy when you have no hand and you're blocked up. You have that item card and you're looking for your support card. I think what I'll do is I'll take the Bravery Charm off and then put in 1 switch card. At least that way I can maximize Magearna's healing properties. I'll think about it. I'll see what else I can take out. I think the let's see, Togekiss. When your active Pokemon is knocked out, flip a coin, take 1 more prize card. Ooh, ooh, okay. So that's an ability. So He'd want to maybe boss up Bellibolt, use Tookakiss's ability, and then he could take the win. I mean, that gives him his 2 prize cards from Bellibolt plus the extra prize, but you're gambling. It's all biased behind or it's all reliant behind a coin flip. But you have a 50-50 chance of taking the win. Yeah, superior energy retrieval. So he's definitely got the energy in hand. I see he could boss up. That's what I'd do if I was him. I'd boss up Bellibolt. That's my 1 EX. Swing for the for sure 300. And then take the win. Yeah, it sucks. He played it all wrong. Flipping a coin, heads. Yeah, man. Could you imagine if he bossed up the Bellibolt? He did the 300 damage, flip the coin, take the extra prize card. That would have been his game there, but such is life. I'll move my Bellibolt up. The Pal Pad has definitely came in handy. I could get rid of both the Pokegears and the Bravery Charm, and then yeah, we're gonna take Boss's Order and just the one. Let's do Iona. So that gives him 1 card in hand. Gives me 2. Alright, it sucks. Hmm. Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to think here. How many energy do we have in there? 3. So I could do 240. Let's retreat, bring Voltorb out. Night superior energy retrieval. Let's just get rid of the professor's research and 1 boss. I should have. Let's get this energy. I want to maximize Voltorb's attack. So that's 20 times 5 is 100. 3 and 3. So that's 220. 40. So yeah, we've got enough. We're at 280. So we took our win. All right. That wraps up our deep dive into the Iona Pokemon deck. I think that I think she could be prepped for regionals. Just keep playing her, help sharpen your skills. I hope this breakdown gave you the edge you need. If you found this helpful, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss future competitive deck guides and gameplay analysis. Leave a comment in the section below. Let me know if you want to see any specific content, and maybe I can help out there. Got any questions or want to share your own Iona techs? Drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear what you're running. Thanks for watching. Good luck in your next tournament, and as always, play smart, train hard, and stay ahead of the meta. Catch you in the next one.